This is the post-event press conference for EFC 125 from the World Sports Betting Arena, Johannesburg, South Africa.
All right, fans, we have an incredible fight card just completed here at EFC 125, where Luke Michaels retained his middleweight title. I really can't wait to put you back in there, Luke, I'll be honest. Really, really can't wait. After that performance, I think that we're going to discuss the last event of the year. Could be something spectacular for you. Let's get straight into performance bonuses. Okay, performance bonuses. We're sending a performance bonus out to Armando De Crescenzo. Incredible Muay Thai skills there. Terrence Bourne, incredible knockout. Dante Mulenga, I think that's the first submission of your career, sir. It was a great one to watch. And obviously Adama Diop. Adama, wow, what a heavyweight. Fight of the night has got to go to Santos versus Pedro. What a spectacular fight the guys had. They were the headliners for the prelims. Let's kick it off to the media.
Luke, to the champ, the middleweight champ, Luke Young Gun Michael, congratulations on the win. Now, that was an absolute battle against Siano Mbembe, went all 5 rounds. How do you feel about this win?
Sorry, but sorry, you please have to repeat that, please.
How do you feel about this win?
Sorry?
How do you feel about this win in an absolute battle against Siano Mbembe?
Well, listen, to be honest, obviously, since winning the middleweight title last year against Yaku, I knew Shadrack's the next in line. Shadrack's a dangerous opponent, man, and obviously now I wish him and his family all the best for his recovery. But with regard to Sia, to be honest, I surprised myself a bit because I watched these fights. His takedown defense and counter wrestling looked really good. But I guess for me, I was just on a higher level because of my hard work and because of my years and years of grappling on the mat, you know. It was a war in round 3, reversed me, but there was just a different fire in me tonight because of what I've been through. And I knew I had to get back on top and keep fighting my fight.
So in the change from your original opponent in Shadrack Nsua, how did you adjust to this fight against Siano Mbembe? Because that's quite a bit of a change.
Yeah, it's a big change, you know. Actually, it's 1 week today since Calvin called me Thursday morning and he told me that Shadrack's out. You know, Shadrack obviously comes from Chris Bright's gym. Those guys are high level BJJ guys. So my coach Rico and I really prepped accordingly. Obviously with Sia, he's more of a striker. So the game plan did have to change because I wasn't going to just shoot on Shadrack straight away, you know. But then this fight, stylistically, it did sort of suit me as well, you know. He swings wild, like in round 4, he was trying to knock me out, but that set up my takedowns even better.
Luke, I'll stay with you if I can. You talked in the cage about how much you've been through this year, and you thanked the team, and you also thanked your wife, Chelsea. I know as fighters, you guys go through so much suffering and struggle and pain, but also our spouses and our partners and our wives at home who enable us to perform at the highest level like your wife, Chelsea, does. How much does it mean for you to have the biggest fan in your corner, in your life, being your wife, Chelsea Joy?
She's my biggest blessing. You know, since winning the belt in 2022, obviously I suffered a knee injury. I was out for like a year and a half, came back, lost the belt to JP Kruger, won it back to Yaku du Plessis, dropped division to Zakir Badat, lost that fight. But she's been with me in the highest highs, the lowest lows, and I'm so grateful that tonight I can share a high, my highest high with her.
For King Cobra, Dante Humphrey Mulenga, this is the first submission of your career. You were up against an equally powerful opponent in Block Kabanda. How did it feel to get your first submission against someone like that?
Yeah, man, it feels good. And it's been a while since I've stepped in the EFC Hex. Yeah, so I feel good about that win. And yeah, you're gonna see more of that. Yeah, thanks, man.
The next question is for Andrew. Well done on the performance. Quick question, what's on the scope? Who's in your rear mirror? Who do you want to fight next?
Well, so far, I want the belt, so it doesn't matter who they give me. I'm gonna work for the belt. I know there's people I'm already in line for the belt, but I'm definitely one of them.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, Hunter and I were having a discussion on the stage before we started the presser, and he said, look, where's he in line on the featherweight discussion? This is him at featherweight is where he belongs. He took his last fight against a much bigger lightweight. We saw that it wasn't the result that he needed, and I think that he's definitely put his name up by beating Zwane. Obviously not the best performance in terms of that fight, because I think it was a very hard fight to chase somebody around the hexagon 3 rounds. But the reality is, I still saw what he put in, and I still think that every time we put him in there, he does put on a performance. He knocked Zwane down with a short left, and I was just like, if we can continue that type of fighting from him, we're going to see huge finishes. So we just need him to get another fight in before we can offer him something a lot bigger.
Question for Sia. Sia, well done. 6 days notice to take this fight. It was an incredible performance. The question's for you and Graham. Taking a fight like this, championship fight, hardest fight of your career, arguably, what would you choose to do next? Is it Diego Bandu? Is there someone else you're lining up? If you could choose your next opponent so you can get back in line for a title shot, who would it be?
Whoever's still #1 contender, I would love to have some of him. This is not enough for me. I didn't have much time to prepare, but the hunger and the love for the sport, yeah, I wanted it. So it didn't went my way, but I so wish I had more time. I so wish I had more time. It was a good fight, thanks, champ. I learned a lot from today to improve in my own skill as well. So, on to the next. Thank you.
Graham, it seems you've got a good problem on your hands now. We're talking about how the heavyweight division needs new blood, and you have guys like Terence Bourne and Adama Diop coming in and putting on thrilling performances. I know we've got the title fight coming up between Triple H and Elvis, but where does Terence and Adama fit into the heavyweight division now?
So you're asking where Terence is in the heavyweight division, right? Look, I mean, it was great that he actually brought it up in the press conference to say, look, you know, heavyweights needs an injection of life. I do believe that's true. And like I said to you, a lot of the heavyweights migrate across to other promotions. So it is a short runway here at EFC, which is great for them. That's a good problem to have here, like you said. Terence has got a lot of options. And I would love to see him back on the main card, showcasing himself, because we already have a #1 contender in the form of our Senegalese beast over here. I mean, I think that whoever wins between Triple H and Elvis, going up against this man, that is going to be an absolute war. So Terence has definitely made a case for himself to be considered in the heavyweights, and I think another big win for him, and it'll cement him.
Sia, this question goes to you. You took the fight on a week's short notice, and you managed to get through all 5 rounds. Do you think things would have been a bit different had you had more time to prepare for this fight?
Yes, Mom, I do think things will be sitting in a different way right now, but yeah.
I know you doubted me.
Next time. Next time.
Question for Luke Michael. Luke, after such an amazing performance, do you think that you have done enough to warrant a shot in the UFC?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, after such a...
Do I think the performance warrants me UFC? To be honest, listen, I got to look for finishes. I got to be showing more of my all-round game. But I truly believe, like even my fights at middleweight, I've shown that I'm levels ahead on the ground. So if guys want to stop it, they need to work their takedown defense more. If you look at a great like GSP, I'm not comparing myself to him at all. That guy's like, he's my role model and hero, but he won fights in similar way, keeping guys down for 5 rounds. You know, it's not my job to do anything. It's a guy at the bottom to scramble and get back up. So if they can't stop the takedown, I'm going to keep winning there. Does it warrant me UFC? No, I believe I got to be more exciting, but I'm just going to keep this and keep winning. All glory to God. If they can't stop the takedown, stop the takedown, you know, you have to stand. Yeah, that's it. We did in round 4.
Question for Terence. Terence.
Hey, Slooky. Let's go, baby.
How are you feeling about your performance?
I actually enjoyed that stand-up exchange. So you'll see my stand-up soon. If you ask my training partner, Aniset Kaneba, if I have boxing, I have boxing. I just don't need to show it yet. Not being arrogant, I'm just saying. You know, I'm always going to fight to my strength. I'm always going to fight to my strength.
Terence, what are your thoughts on the heavyweight matchup that's coming for the title? And where do you see yourself fitting in there?
Baby. WSB or baby?
I think it's a good matchup. Sorry if I sound a bit slurry. There's a deep cut in my mouth. It's a good matchup. I've sparred with Triple H. He's a cool guy. I like how he fights. But I'll talk about Elvis a little bit, you know? Because I see him online, he keeps talking about me. I don't know why. I don't say anything bad about him. But since he wants to talk, I'd say the beautiful thing about this business and the sport is that we can always dance. So all he has to do is call my name out. Seems like he's paying more attention to me than his actual opponent. So he actually started the talking when he said he doesn't want any mediocre heavyweights. And that was like right after my fight. So I felt like, oh, is he talking about me? And I still said nothing. I still paid my respects. When I said the reason they bring back the old generation is because they still got it, I think, you know? But then he took it the wrong way. So we can always find out, you know? I'd love to fight him. I think I'm a bad matchup for him. I'd love to test him out, you know? Yeah, I respect both guys, but still, I want to fight Elvis for all the cheddar. Yeah.
And staying in your division, I wonder if you caught Adama's fight. And what did you think of that performance? And what do you think of a matchup between the two of you at some point?
With him? Beautiful, beautiful fight, but mine was better. No disrespect, mine was better. Yeah.
Would you have a response to that, Adama? Terence just said his performance was better than Adama's performance.
Light heavyweight, you said?
waaw amul problème yow xam nga ni man du ma ragal ñoom xam nañ ni bu baax lu ma mën a def ba combat fii te fii li ma fi indi dama war a xeex ceinture parce que tey jii nii boo nee naa bi mooy sama 6e combat waaw maa ngi am 5 KO premier round comprendre man damay am contenté su ma ñëwee fii nii di combat UFC loolu sama contenté la te ba pare dama leen di remercier bu baax ndax organisation bi jaar na yoon comprendre nga ñoom ñëpp maa ngi leen di bëgg daal.
So he's saying that at the end of the day, he's a fighter first. So he's here to fight, and then he's down to fight anybody. And also, this is his 6th fight. And all fights finished by knockout in the first round. So he also really wants to fight for the title. So he's chasing the title right now.
Thank you. Graham, could you fill us in a little more on EFC 126. What's the thinking behind pitting Africa's best against Europe's elite?
So the main idea between getting Africa's best against Europe's elite was we were looking to match what was already happening, which is such a huge fight in South African history. You got Dricus du Plessis taking on Khamzat Chimaev, 3-1-19 UFC in Chicago, and we've seen a Russian dominance in the sport for a long time, which I think we all believe Dricus is going to stop dead in its tracks. And almost in a homage to that, we're bringing out 3 Russians to fight on that fight card, and a Moldovan athlete. An incredible fight night. Willy van Rooyen is the headliner for that fight card. He's going to be defending his flyweight title. It's going to be epic. All right. Thank you very much for joining us at EFC 125 post-event press conference. What an incredible fight night. Join us again for 126, where we have Willy van Rooyen versus Anatoly Gafin on the 7th of August. Thank you.
In the heart of Africa, battle lines are drawn. Johannesburg becomes the front line. Africa's best face Europe's elite. Willy, the White Lion van Rooyen, who KO'd Brazil's Sousa for EFC Gold just 2 months ago, is now back to defend his title against Anatoly Gafin. Ashu Chitamba, an athlete with relentless willpower, steps out into the bright lights to take on Biarslan Aibulatov, a destroyer of legends. And finally, Ntando, the Zulu warrior zombie, receives the challenge of the fearsome Muhammad Salohidinov at EFC 126. August 7th, World Sports Betting Arena. Watch it live on EFCWorldwide.tv. Tickets and broadcast info at EFCWorldwide.com.